Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another version of Oz Country Down Under Monday Night Live. And I am here tonight. Unfortunately, Elise Simmons was not well and couldn't join us tonight. So we got one half of the supergroup, Cornell and Carr. We got the prettier version. This is Mike Carr. How are you, Mike?
Hey, how are you? Hey, everybody. It's nice to be
Hey.
here.
Yeah, that's it. So we're still waiting for some people to join us. This happens all the time. You never know when they're going to come on. But the good thing about these things is they can replay them as they like, because we just leave them
Also,
on
this
the.
is one of those things where people can comment and stuff as they go, ask questions.
Yes, they can. They
Yeah,
can ask as they go. All right.
a little
So
simple
we
when it
have
comes to technology.
we have 3 viewers already that have shown up. So there you go. So let's start. Oh, here we go. Trudy Jones says, hello, Mike. There you go.
Hello, Trudy.
There you go. Nicholas Binns has said, hi, Mike.
Nicholas, hi back.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Now, before we get on to what we're all here for, let's go all the way back. Now, I know that you've been around for a very long time. Oh, look at that. You've got someone that says, hi, honey.
Hi, Lisa. I haven't got my glasses on, so I don't know who it is, but I'm assuming it's my wife.
It is your wife. There you go. Very good. All right. Brendan Deshawn says, hi, guys.
G'day, Brendan. Nice to see you.
And
Nice.
his wife also says, hi, Dave, and hi, hey, Mike.
Hello, kids. How are you?
Yes. All right. Oh, come on. Look at this. Trudy said something bad already. Maddie is.
Hang on.
Maddie is
more good looking, but you're hot too. My God, what is this like Tinder? This is this Tinder? Is it? What am I doing?
And Tam says hi, Mike, as well. There you go.
Oh, hi, Tam.
All right. So before we get on to Cornell and Carr, which everybody wants to talk about, let's go all the way back. Where did Mike Carr start, and how did your journey begin, and how did you lead up to where you are now?
Well, wow. Okay. Well, music was in my family. My dad was a piano player and was actually worked with Johnny O'Keefe, the great Johnny O'Keefe, for many years as his musical director. Did all the shows, 6 o'clock Rock, all those ones, and so that's where we got it. Grew up where my brother with music in the family. So I never really went and did anything else other than music when I left school and. But it took a quite a long while. I was always writing songs, but it took a long time for anyone to notice them. And it wasn't until about the late 90s. It was about 1997, 98 that I was in Tamworth. And I'd written a couple of songs and I was down in the caravan park playing them one night. And someone saw me play them and came up and met me afterwards. And that was Graham Thompson, who used to run company Compass Brothers Records. So yeah, and at the time Adam Brand was on that label, and so from that one meeting there, that time over the next 12 months, I got to get together with Adam and start writing songs with him, and that was like the catalyst for the whole journey up until now. Yeah.
So I know that the most famous song that you've written for Adam Brand is, of course, the Anzac.
Yeah.
You actually wrote the Anzac. That's awesome. I was actually sitting here earlier because I've done my research, and I was sitting here earlier trying to figure out the chords so I could play it.
They're not that hard.
Then I know I figured it out, but I decided not to play it.
Yeah, well, that song. I had most of that song written, and that was one of the songs I actually played that night in the caravan park. But it took a few years until I got to present that song to Adam. And when he heard it, I remember I was at his house and we were writing songs for the first time up in Queensland. And and it was funny because at the time I had that song and I wasn't going to play it to him. And Melinda Schneider happened to ring me and said, "Oh, you're writing with Adam today," and she said, "Have you played in that song?" And I said, "No, I haven't." She said, "You got to play in that song." So I actually did on her advice, and he sat there and he loved it, and so we did a bit of work on it together, and he ended up recording it 12 months later on his Built for Speed album. So and that connection with Adam and Graham was the reason I signed with Compass Brothers, a little bit later, and started making my own albums. Yeah.
Yes. So you started making your own albums in 2003, if I'm not wrong.
2003, yeah. Well, actually, I reckon you'd know better than I would. Yeah, 2003. It sounds about right. 2003. Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, my Michael Carr album when I was Michael before I changed it.
Before you went to just Mike, right? There you go.
Well, so people have asked me why I changed it from Michael to Mike, and at the time, I mean, the only person who ever really called me Michael was my mother, and everyone else called me Mike or Mikey, or Mick, and as I started writing songs, I noticed there was a great songwriter from like decades ago, 30s and 40s, and his name was Michael Carr, and a lot of our stuff was getting lost in each other's, even though there was a lot of years between, but and it was like one of those things. I thought, well, maybe I probably should have my own identity, especially as a songwriter. So that was hence the reason I changed it over.
Yeah. I agree with you because obviously my name's David. As you can see on well, I don't know whether you can see, but it says Dave here. I do the same thing because only my mother would call me David, and it'd only be if I was in trouble.
That's it. It's so true. It's funny when you do hear. It's funny when you do hear Michael. You think you're in trouble. That's what I do anyway. No matter who says it, I always think, "Oh, I'm in trouble."
Yep. That's it. So I just want to mention before we move on, you did write a song for Melinda Schneider. You wrote a song called "Real People" for Melinda Schneider.
Yeah.
And another one you did with Adam Brand was like a testament to the Tamworth Country Music Festival, New England Highway.
Yeah. Well, all those songs sort of happened around the same time. New England Highway, I wrote that with Adam, but once again, I had that idea for that, and because I actually started writing that on the way to Tamworth once, with a pen and paper in the car. So so all that whole feeling and about that song was me driving along the New England Highway to do exactly what I was, says in the song. Hopefully win a golden guitar, and hopefully, it'd happen one day, but. So that was the idea for that song, and with Melinda as well. See, Melinda and I knew we'd known each other for years because of her mother Mary had worked with my dad in the clubs and everything like that through the years. So we'd met each other a number of times, and we'd written quite a lot of songs prior to actually writing some for her albums. So we wrote quite a number of songs together. And Real People, we got a golden guitar for that one, which was really, really fantastic. She's a great songwriter, Melinda, really great.
There you go. And now you have 2 golden guitars.
Well, the other one was for the Anzac, and out of default, we won the Heritage Song of the Year for that in, I guess, 2003 as well, 2004 maybe. And but that was back in technically I only have one, but that was before, and then about 3 or 4 years later, they changed the rules of the Heritage Songwriter to the actual songwriter and the artist would get one each. But back in those days, it was only the artist who got it. But Adam quite happily shared it with me, which was really nice.
That's nice. That's nice. All right. So then, of course, you've also written with McAllister Kemp, or for McAllister Kemp, and then in 2003, yes, you brought out your first self-titled debut album, and it had singles "While the Wife's Away," "Up on His Shoulders,"
yes,
and then you decided to do something quite strange.
Well, I did.
So tell us about your other persona.
Well, the funny thing is, Dave, I've always loved songwriting, and that's been my main thing. And I've always written all sorts of songs, whether they be serious, tearjerkers, fun, up party song, whatever. But I've always had this, I've always had this idea of writing funny songs, and I've delved into it for years, being a big fan of Kev Bloody Wilson as well as many other performers in that genre, and I thought I'd have a crack at it myself. So I was in Tamworth, and I was at a party, a little gathering for CMC, and they were passing the guitar around, and I just thought I'd play one of my funny songs, and at the time I'd only written like one or two, so I played one of them, and then this gentleman came up to me afterwards and said, "Have you got many more of those songs?" And I said, "I've got dozens of them, heaps of them, So he gave me his card, and his name was Robert Patterson, and he was the CEO, the music director of music at ABC Music. So I went and had a meeting with him, and over a few months we chatted about what I wanted to do, and then ended up signing that record deal with ABC for Buddy Good, and the character Buddy Good was created. And and up
still
until
going,
it's
still going strong.
I did a Buddy Good show on Friday, and for a few people who didn't know what to quite expect, and but it's fun. Look, it was a great outlet for my songwriting and for my sense of humour, and just a great way to shake off the whole seriousness of the music industry and just get down and entertain people. I love seeing people have a great time, because I love to have a great time, especially when I go and see people perform. And it was just a great way to do that. Yeah, and I've had a wonderful run so far. It's been great.
Oh, you had three albums, 2007.
Geez, I got to update that.
Hold on, second, your 2008. You signed with ABC Universal Music, and your second album was the first Buddy Good album, the one and only Buddy Good, and that was nominated for Best Comedy Album at the 2011 ARIA Awards.
Well, I need to update that information, because, up until now, Buddy Good's recorded 6 albums.
Six albums?
Six, and a best of. And I've had 5 ARIA nominations and won it twice. So,
and you won it twice, yes?
I won it twice.
I haven't got to the winning parts yet.
Okay, rewind.
That's all right. That's so good.
I didn't know we were spinning this out into a... But that's good. That's good. Well, okay. Sorry, you go.
So that's all right. That's fine. Let's go through some of these messages. Awesome song, Anzac. The Anzac is. Trudy Jones says.
Thank you, Trudy.
Karen Underwood says, "Hi, Mike."
Hi, Karen. How you doing?
Rebecca Clark says,
Karen, yes.
Yeah, there you go. Rebecca Clark says, "Howdy, fellas."
Howdy, fellas. I will send my love to Matt from you, Rebecca, because he's not here. Oh, she's saying it to you. Okay, I thought it was howdy, fellas. Oh, the two of us. Yeah, right.
You're talking to me, the cat brigade here. And then one of my admin team, Danny Shaw, says hi.
Hello, Danny. How you doing?
All right. Normally she do the interviews. And Karen Underwood says, "Love playing that song coming into Tamworth." So I'm guessing that's New England Highway. Because I actually love the same thing. I've never actually been to the Tamworth Festival. Would you believe that? I've actually never been to the Tamworth Festival, but every time I have traveled the New England Highway, funnily enough, I've had that song on the.
Well, it's a big road, and it goes lots of places, I guess. So it doesn't have to be just about Tamworth, but yeah. Oh my God, I wish I had $1 for every time I've driven on it. Anyway, love playing that song coming to Tamworth. Well, thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. And Karen, I think Karen was on the cruise, the country music cruise that I was just on recently in October, and it was a wonderful thing. We had a great time. We did. So hopefully, sorry.
There you go. Tam says, "Up on His Shoulders," the best song.
Well, that's very nice of you, Tam. And yes, I do remember you, Tam, from many years, coming to lots of shows. I'm really proud of those songs from years ago. And I don't get to play them much anymore. And I guess I'm really looking forward to going out and playing shows with Matt, because if we're doing the songs off our new album, which is great, but we'll have to also be performing songs that we've had
Yeah,
previously too.
done
Otherwise,
separately.
exactly. So I'm looking forward to doing all those songs again as well. Yeah.
For sure. Let's keep going with these things. Oh, look at that! Oh, look! Oh, this could be a thing. Um, hey, Mike, "While the Wife's Away" is one of is my favourite song of yours. There you go.
Well, Robert, it used to be one of mine, but then I got divorced, so I actually don't. I actually don't sing that one anymore. I don't sing that one anymore because it's not true. I got married this year
Yeah,
to my beautiful wife Lisa, and I hate it when she goes away. You know,
yeah. There
and
you go.
we love. Yeah, we just it's a different story these days. No, I actually love it. So I don't think I'd ever write a song like that again, to be honest with you. But glad you
Beth,
like it, Robert. Thank you very much.
Beth Brown is tuning in from down in Yes, I believe.
Yes. Hello, Beth. I was
Yes.
down. I was just down at Jugiong very recently, which is not far from there, from the Yass, doing a little fundraiser for the drought, a little community down in Jugiong, and we had a wonderful afternoon down there. I wonder if you were there, Beth. I don't remember if you were. Let me know if you were.
All right, so we've got heaps of people saying stuff, which is fantastic. Tegan's actually said, "How's married life treating you?"
Unbelievable, unbelievable. I tell you what. I mean, people joke about, oh, you got married. Oh, well, there goes your happiness. There goes. People say that it's just stock standard stuff, but
Yeah, that's right.
and
Yeah,
you still laugh. Yeah, funny. But to tell
yeah,
you the truth, most people out there who are married to someone that they adore, you know what I mean. It's you know what it's like. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. I've become a stepfather, which is something I never thought would happen, and so yeah, I'm part of raising two young boys, which is great too. It's a great experience for me, and yeah, and I'm loving every second of it. So there you go.
absolutely. Now we're going to get off the subject of all these other songs. New England Highway, always a special song around festival time. I agree, Brendan. That's correct. Um, and hi, Mike from Disc. Oh, where's that?
Hi, Mike from
Disc
Dislocation.
Dislocation. Wanger out. All right.
Hi, Annette.
There's a whole heap. Rebecca also says, "Where is Maddie the slacker?"
Well,
Yeah, Maddie's been busy.
Maddie's up in Queensland. He's just moved into his new house, and
Yeah,
he's trying to get things sorted out. And for those of you who know Matt, it's going to take him a while to get things sorted out because he's a bit finicky. Everything's got to be in the right place. So he's sorting it all out. But also, where he's going to be in Sydney tomorrow night, opening for Richard Marx at the State Theatre, I think it is. So
yeah,
unfortunately, that one's sold out. But for those who already have tickets, go along and enjoy. But for those of you in Brizzy, and anyway, it's
yeah.
on his website. There's still tickets available for Brisbane for Richard Marx to get along to see Matty. It's going to be a big week for him. Yeah.
It's been very huge for a lot of you because you also worked with Adam Brand and the Outlaws,
Yes.
and also Matty Cornell's been a bass player in Adam Brand's band for his last tour as well. So it's been quite busy for you guys with Adam. You do a lot of stuff with Adam.
Yeah. Well, we've got such a history together. I mean, and we all kind of think along the same lines, especially when it comes to music and it seems like when I used to open shows, I did a few tours with Adam when my first album came out, and so a lot of the audience that listened to me were already fans of his. So, and it kind of worked well. Um, they liked his music and they liked my music, and so I guess we've I managed to get some of his fans on board for my career, which was great. And it's a similar thing with Matt. With Matt, he's been with Adam for 7 years, I think now, playing in the band and MDing the band, and has opened the show for Adam for the last 3 or 4 years. Excuse me. So
I mean,
similar thing.
I'd really like to talk to Matty, because I want to know how Matt Cornell goes from Baby Animals to Matty Cornell to Adam Brand's musical director.
Yeah.
I'd like to know how that timeline happened.
Well, Matt was playing in rock bands when he's early 20s. Ended up with Richard Clapton for a long time, with Shannon Noll for 6 years. So he's he's been in that music scene for quite a long time. But I think it was the opportunity with Adam that got him into country music and seeing what all that was about, and he's just fallen in love with it, and hence has made a couple of albums and done very well over the last few years. And I think I'm one of those people that thinks it doesn't matter what genre of music it is. If you're a good musician and you know what you're doing, you can go and do it. You can pretty much go and play anything. There are specialists musicians in country music who I wouldn't say that about. Some wonderful guitar pickers and etc. Who pretty much that's their thing. But when it comes to playing just commercial music, whether it be country, rock, jazz, blues, whatever, pretty much, if you can cover all those, you're going to work everywhere. And if you grow up in that environment, because Matt grew up in the same environment I did, my father was a classical pianist, but he ended up playing with Johnny O'Keefe, rock and roll, all through the 60s. And then he ended up being a piano player on Play School for 30 years. So, you know what I mean? He had to know what he was doing, So I grew up in a household like that, and so did Matt. And we just became versatile, I guess, and lucky for that,
Okay, so let's move on to where we are now. How did Matty Cornell and Mike Carr come together for this collaboration?
Well, as you say, with the Outlaws, the Outlaws was a great year for all of us involved, with Drew and Travis as well. It was a great year. We had a lot of fun. It was the first time I'd actually gone out and worked on stage with Matt. We had a lot of fun, and during that time, we weren't sure how long the Outlaws was going to last, or what Adam's plans were for that. And at the time, it was just to make the one album and do the one tour of shows and see what happened later on down the track. But I remember having a conversation with Matty on that trip, saying, we should do something else other than, our solo careers, other than Buddy Good, other than the Outlaws, which was predominantly a covers thing. We should get together and write some songs and see where that leads us. And we actually decided to do a show last January in Tamworth, and everyone that came to the show, we just had the best time. We just had such a good time, and everyone there had a great time, and we just clicked. It was just like, oh wow, I really, really want to do this more. We said that to each other as soon as we got off stage. We really should do this more, and so we decided to write songs and make an album and do that, and hence this January we're releasing the album in Tamworth. So
correct. Yeah. So do we have a name for the album?
The album's going to be called We Go Way Back, which is the title song, and it's the opening song of the album. I'm not going to give too much away, but We Go Way Back. And well, the reason why we called it that is because it was actually the first song we wrote for the album, and it tells a story about how Matt and I didn't know each other, but our parents knew each other. My dad and his parents, being performers, knew each other and worked with each other during the 70s and 80s, and before Matt and I ever met and ever knew that about each other. And it was a chance thing. I went over to his place one day and I saw some photos next to his television. I'm like, who's that? And he goes, oh, that's my brother. And I said, I've done a gig with your brother, because his brother used to have a big band, and I did this gig up at Russell Crowe's house on New Year's Eve with his brother's band, like probably 10 years ago. And then we started talking about, I said, your dad and his dad, Wayne Cornell, and my father and his mum, Cheryl Assange, and we just had this history that went so far back prior to us knowing each other. So that's what we wrote that song. We go way back, and that sort of like started the whole ball rolling for us. Yeah,
correct. Now the lead single is "Be in the Band." First of all, I want to know, when can I be in the band?
We're still deciding who's in the band. Actually, no, not true. We've got a couple of guys, but we don't have a band at the moment. So I'll be in the band. Well, you know, it's a classic song about following your dreams, but it's deeper. It's actually deeper than that. And everyone talks about following their dreams, but it's actually following your realistic dreams. You know what I mean? We all have fantasies about doing this and doing that, but the songs actually be more about being true to yourself, and and sticking to things that you have control over, and because they're the things in life that make you happy. When you conquer the little things.
Yeah.
So that's what being the band's about. Yeah. And, so we wrote that because we were at the time, we were in a place of, just forgetting all the crap that goes through life and just concentrating on the really important things.
Fantastic. So this is what's going to happen now. You're actually going to perform the song without Matt.
Just so happens I've got a guitar.
Look at that. All right, so here is Mike Carr without his other half, and this is "Be in the Band."
Thank you, Dave. Another long highway taking me away from home. Truck stop, coffee speed, but it's keeping me warm. I got no money, I'm always spent. I got no place to lay my head. But when you're doing what you're born to do, it don't matter a bit. 'Cause the sun don't rise if the world's not spinning. Moments ain't right if you're not riding. Oh, means nothing if it ain't worth giving a damn. If you don't want to be one of the crowd, be in a band. It always seems to happen when I'm feeling alone. When I think of her name lights up on my phone. Somehow we're connected, she knows what to say. She'll do it every day. When you're surrounded by people who love you, there's always a way. 'Cause the sun don't rise and the world's not spinning. Moments ain't right if you're not right. It all means nothing if it ain't worth giving a damn. If you don't want to be one of the crowd, be in a band. Yeah, you want to be in the band. Yeah, you want to be in the band. Yeah, come on and be in the band. Yeah. That's the short version.
That's the short version. There we go. That's the short version. Very good. All right, there you go with the short version of "Be in the Band." That's the Mike Carr solo version. So now the two MCs. I love that because I actually thought about that today. The two MCs, Matt Cornell.
I know. We thought about it. We thought about it for like a whole month, trying to work out some way to get a name that incorporated the two MCs. I mean, we just, because we were sort of M&M, MC and MC, all that MC squared equals MC squared. We're just like, but it just we never thought of anything. So we stuck with the tried and true Cornell and Carr. Boring.
So how did we figure out whose name was going first? Cornell, Carr.
Well, there was no issue. It was no issue for me at the time. Matty's been out there making records for the last couple of years, so everyone's probably more familiar with Matt's work at the moment. So we decided that his name should go first, and mine should come up second. But it's like one of those things. It doesn't really matter. I'm sure Paul McCartney had a problem with Lennon and McCartney.
True.
Not that we're in the same league, however.
Well, that's when you think Lennon and McCartney, that's an alphabetical order thing, right?
Well,
and so then I was thinking it should have been Carr and Cornell, but actually Cornell and Carr sounds.
I think Cornell and Carr does roll off the tongue a bit easier than Carr and Cornell.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Well, it's been wonderful to talk to you right now. We have to say goodbye for you. Your album launch is happening in Tamworth this year, or next year, obviously. Whereabouts will that be, and how can people get there?
Well, it's quite simple. Last year, for those who came last year, it's in the same venue at the Outback Bar at West Leagues, and that's on January the 25th. It's a Friday evening at 8 p.m. And the good thing about it is, for those Adam Brand fans, his show is on straight after in the Blazers room. So you can go to our show and then go straight over to the other room to see Brandy, of which Matty's going to be open for, and maybe I might get up and do a song with him at the Brandy show too. We'll see what happens. But so you can make it a big night at Westlake. So it's 25th of January. Tickets are available at the club, or just check out the links on our websites, on our Facebook sites, I should say. Yeah.
I was going to say, the website should be active very soon, right?
It will be. Yes, we are. Yes, my beautiful wife Lisa is in the process of finishing that up soon, and it will be up on air in the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
And your wife just mentioned that Matt comes before Mike alphabetically, so forget the C and C.
There you go. She's a wise girl, I tell you. She's a smart lady.
All right. And Trudy Jones says Cornell and Carr sounds great. And Karen Underwood said, that's my plan, to go and see your show and then jump over to the Brandy show. So there you go.
Well, Karen, you tell all the other Brandy fans to do the same thing, all right? I'm relying on you, Karen.
All right, so that's the 25th of January. You'll be able to see the album launch for Cornell and Carr up in Tamworth. So be there. Don't miss it, except I'll be missing it because I'm here in Beijing.
Well, I don't feel sorry. It's a great place.
So send videos, send everything you can. Send photos, videos. Let me know what's going on over there. All right. Thanks for talking to me tonight, and I wish you all the best of luck with your album launch. The new song's fantastic, and it's been a great pleasure having you on the Oz Country Down Under Facebook Live interviews tonight.
Mate, pleasure was mine. Thanks so much, Dave, and thanks to everyone for joining in too.
All right. That's it for us tonight. Hopefully next week, Danny Shaw will be back with her guest next week. Keep onto our Facebook page to keep posted about that. There's some still good people coming. Karen Craigie, Josh Shetterfield, and Jody Doreen will finish off the year on the 24th of December. So that's all coming. And again, Elise Simmons does send her apologies, and we will reschedule an appointment with her in the near future once she's feeling better. So there'll be an extra Monday Night Live on another day somewhere. All right. Until next week. There you go. Until next week, that's us for another evening. Good night, and thank you for joining Oz Country Down Under. And don't forget, the radio station is running. It's back. See you, mate.
Bye-bye, Dave. Bye-bye, Dave.